Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy Bearimy. In The Good Place, in Chapter 31 of The Good Place, Jeremy Bearimy. Oliver Shellstrop was really onto something when she said, no more Spider-Man movies. Too many dorky little twerpy Spider-Men running around. Oliver Shellstrop was really onto something because at the same time as when that episode was being filmed, Sony made it Into the Spider-Verse, and and a non-Spider-Man movie with featuring Spider-Man characters in it called Venom. And then 3 years later, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. Which incorporated the Sony's previous two film incarnations of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They and some of the major villains they faced got pulled from different universes into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where Tom Holland plays Spider-Man. I tell you, it was Marvel's most ambitious crossover since Infinity War, and I guess it was their answer to Crisis on Infinite Earths, which had all these featured all these different versions of Batman, Superman, the Flash in it. DC Universe, CW's Arrowverse, many more incorporated to that. Now, Mike Tillerman from Central Park can feel the opposite way about too many Spider-Man as Oliver Shellstrop, because I know she likes drawing her own superhero comics, and she thinks weirdos make great superheroes. But now that gotten that out of the way, it's time for a serious moment of silence for the January 6th insurrection. But yeah, we all know why the January 6th insurrection is a serious matter that we must never, ever, ever allow to happen again. It's a big coalition of a much greater problem that's plagued the United States of America since the 1980s. And that problem is the Republicans are selfish jerks with too much greed and pride go around the earth that force everyone else to live that have since Ronald Reagan was president have forced most of the rest of the United States of America to live out their alternate reality of what they think is right. They're They're the people who have turned the United States of America into a self-righteous, individualistic, obese nation. Filled with the authoritarianism and self-entitlement. That's too inhumane to, because they're too inhumane to let us have the universal health care that we or paid family leave and sick leave that we really deserve to have as human rights. I mean, yes, I know there's a right to keep and bear arms, but there should also be a right to, don't ignore a right to not get violently killed. It's all the fault of the NRA and right-wing media that the United States has too many mass shootings in this nation every year. And it just goes to show you that misinformation is far, far worse than no information at all. And if another insurrection happens, then we'll never have any chance of changing that stuff. To make the United States far less inhumane than it is now. I mean, a human being who doesn't care about what most other humans want doesn't act like a human being in their own right. And you have no excuse for taking away abortion rights and claiming to be pro-life when you don't actually do anything else to protect mass shootings from happening. You're just like giving other people a free pass to shoot up the rest of the world that defeats them. Being selfish doesn't pay, and that's why no one is too old for VeggieTales or Higglytown Heroes. And that's not just my opinion. That is a moral fact of life. No one is too old for VeggieTales and Higglytown Heroes will always be relevant in our real lives and moral development because it teaches us lots of things we need to know to help out other people in need, to make the United States of America a better nation that's not exceptionally cruel and callous. I mean, obviously King George's not just told you being selfish doesn't pay. And, like any Viking and Vision Space Final Frontier taught me how important it is to share with others. And don't give up on doing good. It's a very important episode of the VeggieTales show to watch where Bob wanted to give up on doing good because it took too long for a good thing. It took too long for payoff. But then the Bible story of King David and King Saul and Larry's playing not yet King David. He learned that he shouldn't kill King Saul when played by Archibald again. Also played King Saul in the Giant Pickle. He learned yeah, Larry's David learned not to kill Archibald's. That's all because because if he did that, then he wouldn't really be deserving of. Then he'd be just as bad as he'd be no better than King Saul, and then he wouldn't really deserve to be king. So the thing is, yeah, to Higglytown Heroes. Well, I know you can't really call in whoever you need to solve the problem by singing that song that the main characters of Higglytown Heroes sing every episode, but yeah, Higglytown Heroes is always a good reminder to look for someone special, someone who actually cares about doing their job well, who can help you solve your problem that's too big for you to do. I mean, as far as I know, it's not a big lie about propaganda, as Amber Ruffin calls it. It never taught. I mean, there are a few episodes where police officers are Higglytown heroes, but they never tell us that police officers are perfect and not without their faults, because they knew that would be a lie. And there's no need to tell us that much about them in a preschool, in a show at preschoolers. I mean, I guess you could teach us about bad things that some do when they should not do them. So yeah, if you want, so here's the down low, what I gotta say about this. If you want to implement universal health care and paid sick leave in the United States, you have to learn how to preach to those who don't agree with you by teaching them why the United States would be much better if it actually had a social democracy, and why that's not evil. And it's a form of government. It's a form of socialist government implemented democracy, and right, and socialism is when production, distribution, and exhibition, I think, are regulated by the whole community. So yeah, I don't think there's anything. You can think what you like, but I don't think there's anything evil about having the whole community, as in the whole nation of poor and middle class civilians, making the decisions for laws are passed in our nation. And regulating the bills and laws we get passed. Because if you think socialism is bad for any reason, well, you're just hurting yourself by rationalizing why you wouldn't like to have a say in what rules go in the United States. If you want to protect our democracy from being taken over, from being lost forever, like stuff that's happened, like some stuff that's happened in Chile and Hungary in recent years, well, you need to outsmart the Republicans and to want to change voting laws and have good voting maps, like Michigan and some other states have done. And most importantly, if you want to make mass shootings in the United States as rare as they are in most other countries, you got to teach the Kyle Rittenhouses of our country why it's wrong to mishandle firearms and stuff. You know, that's why that spoiled birthday boy in SpongeBob SquarePants, Krusty Catering, took such liking to Mr. Eugene Krabs, because he was because he was wise enough to stop that boy from misusing fireworks, from playing with fireworks. They're too dangerous, right? He was happy that Mr. Krabs cared enough about him to teach him that, and I'm sure Kyle Rittenhouse also wishes he had a competent parental figure, authority figure, who would teach him why guns are wrong instead of messing him up even further by declaring him a hero. But yeah, another big way we could reduce mass shootings is to we need someone special who can hold the NRA accountable and make sure that to abandon their profit motive for the safety, education, training, and hunting programs they should be enforcing and funding. And I already know who that someone special is, because she did an excellent job at suing them last year. Go, 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 go. Someone special, who could it be? This job's too big for you and me. We need some help. But never fear, it looks like a job for a Higglytown hero. A Higglytown hero. Please welcome to the stage, Gabby Gifford. And Gabby Gifford, if you sang that song near Gabby Gifford, then she would sing, I'm a Higglytown hero, brave and true. I help the town with the things I do. So work real hard and you will see that you can be a hero just like me. A hero just like me. I'm a gun control activist. Yes. I protect human rights to exist. Yes. And not to be killed violently. I will not go down silently. Oh, what comes next? I teach people about firearms. How to be safe before they cause harms. They must be used responsibly. Guns are not toys, obviously. Oh yeah. Kip asks, can you save 10 guys with mullets from a massive round of bullets? And then Yubi asks, can you teach the kids at school like guns are not fun or cool? Oh yeah, and then Gabby Giffords would sing. My gun safety codes are immense. My gun safety codes are immense. They should be used for self-defense. Mental health and background checks are a must. So I will know who to trust. I'm a Higglytown hero, bold and good. I help my friends just like I should. So work real hard, that's what we'll do. So we can be a hero, just like you. A hero just like you. And then Gabby Giffords would say, remember kids, if you learn about gun safety, and follow lockdown drills to survive school shootings and prevent further ones from taking place, then you can be Higglytown Heroes. Man, I'm so glad I got back in Higglytown Heroes because last year because Twinkle's silly ideas and all the Higglytown heroes that she and her friends have met along the way. You seem to have an answer for everything that I could apply to my life in the real world. Just like all the moral lessons I learned about the stuff from VeggieTales. You know that song, what we have learned of lives to our lives today, and God has a lot to say in His book.